Yeah, he's rocking that moustache.
The lucky moustache, let's hope, for the Frenchman.
And it's a very warm welcome, wherever you're watching around the world, to our 2023 ICF Stand-Up Paddling World Championships. It is sprint day today. We've had some action already this morning, just some preliminary rounds. You haven't missed a lot if you're just joining us from home. We've got some fantastic racing coming your way throughout today. It is my very great pleasure, Ross Solly, to be bringing you this year's racing alongside me, my co-commentator, Matthew Astier. Matthew, welcome to Pattaya. Welcome to the 2023 ICF Stand-Up Paddling World Championships.
Thank you very much, Ross. Hello, everyone. Matthew Astier here, and I'm very happy for the third consecutive year to be presenting the ICF SUP World Championships after Lake Balaton in 2021 in Hungary, after Gdynia in Poland last year. We are in a beautiful location here in Pattaya, Thailand for a crazy stacked week of SUP racing action with 3 disciplines, sprints today and tomorrow. We will have our first world champions crowned tomorrow in the sprints, then we'll move on to the long distance and then to the technical race.
Look at this incredible venue that you're now seeing from home, from our eye in the sky. This is our sprint venue right in front of us. It is world class, and then just over to the left you'll see that is a slalom course as well, which is, for any slalom paddler who's been on that course, it is indeed world class. What a beautiful setting. As you can see, some mountains in the background, plenty of greenery. It is a really, really lovely spot to be paddling, and it's warm. It's very warm, and a few of the athletes today have already said how they're trying to manage the heat this week. But compared to last year when we were freezing our Bojangles off in Gdynia in Poland, it is a pleasure to be sitting here in shorts and a T-shirt bringing you all the action of the 2023 ICF Stand-Up Paddling World Champions. We have lots of world champions back here to defend their titles. We have lots of former world championships from years gone by. And we have athletes from all over the world who are going to be here. There's athletes from around 50 nations competing at these world championships. We've got a full calendar of events between now and Sunday. We've got today and tomorrow here at the sprint course. And then we head to the beaches. We head to the beach in Pattaya for technical races, for long-distance races, for inflatable races. We just hope you can stick with us over the next few days as we bring you this world-class action as we crown world champions, not just in our elite open categories, but also in masters categories, 40+, 50+, and junior racing as well.
Yes, Ross, and I have to say it's a huge pleasure for me to be here. I have a personal story with Pattaya Thailand. Pattaya is where everything started for me and stand-up paddling and for Total SUP, and just 10 years ago.
Was that the first time you were put in jail, or was that the second time? I can't remember.
We said we wouldn't start with jokes in the first 10 minutes. But there will be plenty of them for sure coming up in the next 5 days. But yeah, basically stand-up paddling is where I fell in love with stand-up paddling 10 years ago. And to be coming back here, commentating the event with you is just a huge honor. And I'm very grateful for the ICF and also for Starboard, who is sponsoring that Total SUP trip to Pattaya this year for this great opportunity and for what has been a life changer for me. I'll give more details throughout the week of this great story. But we've got, yes, indeed, a stacked competition ahead of us. We've got a full day of sprint racing today, and tomorrow we'll be crowning our first world champions in the sprint. In the sprint event, we are going to start with the Master 50+ women, and we've got some top athletes in there. Some who have been with us since pretty much the very first ICF SUP World Competition, which was in 2019 in Qingdao, China. So this is the 4th ICF SUP World Championships after China, after Hungary, after Poland. We are in Thailand, and the event promises to be just magical, as you can see on those stunning drone images.
And you can see from our drone footage as they went down on the far side of the course from where we're sitting now, all the flags of all the nations that are competing. And we have athletes from every continent of the world competing here this week. It really, truly is. For those who may be watching this event for the very first time, stand-up paddling has really taken over the world in terms of recreational paddling, in terms of competition paddling. And the beauty of this event, Matthew, is it is open to all, and we're seeing athletes of all levels, of all stages competing. We've already seen a couple of world champions on this morning, and we're going to see some more in the next couple of hours. And as you just said, Matthew, tomorrow we get to the pointy end of the sprint competition. We get to the final stages. And I know the athletes are excited. It's a great way to finish off what's been a busy 2023 season. Matthew, you've been following a lot of the racing throughout the year. There's been some incredible racing all around the world. And to bring it to a head here in Thailand, which I must say personally, I'm so excited to be here and to be racing here. The organisers have done a fantastic job. The volunteers are wonderful. Everything so far has been running very smoothly, and it's just a very good sign. Normally on the first morning of an event, you might expect a few teething problems, a couple of things to go wrong, but it's been pretty good so far. And here you have the defending world champion, Petra Pafreda, who is racing. She is here.
Yes, she is.
So can she defend her title, Matthew? It's a good field, though, in the women's 50+.
It is a great field indeed, and we've just had a graphic showing a reminder of the board regulations that are required for the actual entire event. I'm sure you have spotted that there's a minimum of 10 kilos required for every board, and the exact size in meters for a 14-foot board is 4 meters and 27 centimeters. So that is has been checked by the local organizers, of course, and will be actually checked again throughout the competition. We want to make sure that everybody competes on a fair basis, and with the same rules applying to everyone. This competition is also the culmination of the 2023 ICF World Ranking Circuit and World Cup Circuit, which started in April in Italy with the Spring Sup race. Then we were in North Carolina, USA, for the Carolina Cup. In May, we were in Austria with the Lake Rocks Festival and the Legend of Vox. In July, we were in Ajos Nikolaos. But we're about to start.
Yes, race one now.
Our first heat.
Just letting you know, and you see it on the screen there, the first 5 will go straight through to the quarterfinal. The remaining can pack their boards up and head back to the hotel if they choose. There are 7 athletes in this race. Just 5 will go through. And we have in lane 1 from Australia, Maria Williams. Lane 2, Anna Occhigrosso from Italy.
Who was 4th last year?
Yep. In lane 3 from China, Zeron Day. Lane 4, Christina Funk from Germany. Lane 5, Yi Zhang from China. Lane 6, Ru Zhao from China. And from Slovenia, Natalie Fon in lane 7. And we're underway. And already it looks like it might be the Slovenian, is it? Natalia Fon, who's gone out really strong in the outside lane, lane 7. And also in lane 4, going strong is Christina Funk. So it's Fon from Slovenia, from Funk from Germany. Top 5 all go through.
And the Slovenian rider Natalia Fon is on a Sonova board, which is one of the main board sponsors of the event, along with Starboard and NSP. They're based in Thailand, in Khao Lak, in the south of Thailand, on the west coast.
And the paddler from Italy now is also coming through, Occhigrosso from Italy in lane 2. So it's Cross on the far side of the course, it is Fon from Slovenia, who I think will get the bickies here. And in lane 2, Grosso from Italy, possibly Funk from Germany, will finish third.
Yeah, big comeback by the Italian Anna Grosso from Bari, Italia, finishing either first or second. Probably
second, I think. Maria Williams from Australia, fourth. And now in lane number 5, it is from China, Yi Zheng. So they will all go through to the next round.
And that is, I believe, Natalia Fon, from Slovenia.
Well done, Natalia. You're straight through to the quarterfinal. Good race. Excellent race from the Slovenian. I'm just wondering if that's our first Slovenian paddler for the day. I can't remember calling a Slovenian paddler earlier today. So if you're going to make a debut for your country, you might as well make it a good one and get out there and win the race.
Slovenia, which is being more and more active on the SUP scene, actually, with a couple of big international events now. One of them is called the Adria SUP Challenge, organized by the local team over here at the Italian border. And I have in mind Dusan Reja, who has been very active on the Slovenian SUP scene. And this event is actually part of the SUP Alps Trophy, which is a regional tour in Germany, Austria, and now Slovenia.
They had terrible floods in Slovenia this year, wiped out a lot of infrastructure for the Slovenian Canoe Federation, and they're slowly getting back on their feet now and bringing everything back together. So good to see Natalia Fon from Slovenia out here winning her way straight through. Our next race is also jam-packed, 7 athletes. 5 will go through. Who's in this race, Matthew?
We've got Katerina Trudova from the Czech Republic, Youngmi Kim from Korea, Chunbo Tao from China, Kirsty Macmillan, one of the favorites from Canada, Changfu Hu from China, Polona Puslar from Slovenia precisely, and Penny Tsautu, also a favorite from Greece.
So this should be a very good race. We're expecting 2 or 3 to challenge for the lead early on.
And I think Penny Tsautu took a very good start in lane number 7. On the NSP board over there.
And it might be the Korean, is it? Who's... No. Lane... No, it's... it looks like it might be Chunbo Tai from China. Let's just get a look here as they come down in front of us now. It's lane 2. It is the Korean.
And that is actually a good indication right away, early in this day, as to... the big surprise that might come from China. They brought a huge contingent of athletes, more than 100 athletes, so the biggest contingent of athletes in this competition. I don't think we had many Chinese paddlers last year in Gdynia. We didn't have any, actually. And
great result though for the Korean here. Kim is through as the number 1 qualifier from Penny Tsautu from Greece, and across here in lane number 1. Katerina Trulova. Where did Kirsty McMillan finish? I'm just trying to spot what happened to Kirsty McMillan because she is one of the favourites. I'm assuming she got through okay, Matthew. Did you spot her? She was in lane 4. We'll have a look at the replay in just a moment.
Yeah, it is possible, though, that some athletes have decided to actually pick their events, disciplines, after signing up to all the events. Actually, isn't that her right here?
Yeah, I'm just looking where she fell off she fell off the front. So no doubt about great result there for the Korean paddler Youngmi Kim, who went through first. And wow,
that's surprising by Kirsty
McMillan finished well back. I don't think she finished top 5. We'll just wait for confirmation. If she didn't finish top 5, then she will be. Yes, she's finished in 6th position.
All right.
So she does not go through to the quarterfinal. There's our first upset of the day.
It is indeed. And Penny Tsautu in second place got the job done. We have a great interview with Penny, actually, from on totalsup.com this year. You can read about it.
If you want to get all the background, all the information you need about this event, Total SUP has an excellent coverage, not just of this event, but of our canoe stand-up paddling events throughout the season. Feels funny calling it canoe, doesn't it? It's not really canoe, but... So now we are moving into heat number 3.
With from Greece again, Evlampia Tsiru. We've got Edith Tolad, that's the mother of Ludovic Tolad. In lane 2, Chimei Tian from China.
She's missing. We don't have a lane 3.
So from the Chinese athlete is missing. Tracy Mook from New Zealand, Mary Ellery from Canada, Yi Yong Guo from China, and Paola Rodriguez from Spain in lane number 7. Who's in the lead? I think Edith Tolad is in the lead.
From Switzerland. Fantastic to see the Swiss out here showing us what they're made of. So it's Switzerland first, and Ziru from Greece is second.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Edith Tolad has got a dual French-Swiss citizenship, but she's representing Switzerland in this competition. She's on the Sonova board. A few days ago, I got to visit the Sonova factory, actually, in Kaolack. Quite an experience.
So, again, top 5 go through. There are 6 in this race, so the only person missing out will be the last person to cross the line. Everyone else will go through to the quarterfinal. And it is Eddie Talud who is first, and looks like a good race for second, but from New Zealand, I think.
Yeah, Tracy
Mook has got through in second. And then across on the top of the course from Spain, Paola Rodriguez finishing in third.
So the first 5 qualify for the quarterfinals already.
And for the first time today, Matthew, the sun is breaking through. That is going to increase the heat level for our athletes. It's already been pretty hot, pretty humid here this morning in Thailand, in Pattaya. But now the sun is breaking through, so I expect that the temperature will go up a couple of degrees now, and it's going to make things very sticky.
Yeah, I have to say I didn't mind the clouds. Obviously, darker images on your screen, but definitely a little bit less hot than what it is now already with the sun out.
It's Mari Ellery not going through as well from Canada, so our 2 Canadian paddlers both missing out on the quarterfinals. Maybe they're not enjoying the sticky, warm conditions here, Matthew.
Yeah, well, obviously Canada is known for slightly colder temperatures, so it takes a while to get used to that humidity and that heat.
Okay, now the 4th heat, and I'm just going to, this is the last time I do this joke, but the French president is racing.
Oh yeah, don't do it again. She doesn't like it.
She doesn't like it?
I don't know.
Of course she wouldn't like it. Why would she want to be compared to the French president?
Well, I have to say I'm very proud that I never made the actual mistake of call her Macron instead of Marcon. So Emmanuelle Marcon, she's actually a top 50-plus paddler. She was on the podium, on a couple of podiums last year in Gdynia. She's probably the favorite in this heat. And who have we got? We've got from Indonesia, Devie Milayanti. We've got from China, Zongyang Lu. Also from China, Ling Wixie. From New Zealand, Trudy Lyle. From Canada, Gina Di Primio. And from Thailand, Nakamon Asavapakuna. But Emmanuelle Marcon is the favorite in this race,
and she
will at least on paper.
She'll be going from lane 4, so watch for lane 4. As Matthew said, she had a really good World Championships in Gdynia. Totally different racing conditions here, of course. Matthew, I was speaking to Esperanza Barreras earlier on, and she was saying how these conditions are more. She finds them more challenging than the conditions we had last year in Gdynia. So it's.
Yeah, indeed. And Emmanuelle Marcon already in the lead. She was silver medalist in Gdynia last year. She's on a 45 Pro board right in the middle of the field in lane number 4. Now, who have we got to challenge her for that
top 5 go
first
through,
place?
and this is there's 7 in this race. So Marcon is first, and looks like right next to her in lane number 5, it is Trudy Liu from New Zealand. And across in lane 6 as well, it is Gina Di Primio from Canada. I think is it in lane 6?
In second place, yes, I think. So it's going to be lane 4 from France, Emmanuelle Marcon, and then Ginia Di Premio from Canada, and then Trudy Lyle from New Zealand, who are the next two to make it through to the quarterfinals. We've got a battle for that fifth spot at the back between Nakamon Asavapakuna from Thailand, and
sorry, top of the course
from Devye Milayanti. Yeah. Oh, that's going to be a tight one for that top five between the last two paddlers to cross the line. And there's another one coming up who will have to rest out for the rest of the sprint competition. We're going to wait for the official scores, official times, to see who is actually making it through to the quarterfinals. If you're watching this live stream, make sure to share it around as much as possible. Let's grow our sport all together. Just take that link and put it on your Facebook page, your Instagram page, your stories, however you want it. Just let's attract a big crowd. We've got a new hit coming up with Diva Atami. I recognize that name. Lane number 2. Wanlaya Letsvasana from Thailand, Wendy Tillett from Canada, Lirong Xia from China, Guoping Wang from China, Mary Buchanan, definitely a favorite from England, and Marlene Berg from New Zealand.
And a good race. This has actually been one of our closest races of the broadcast so far. A good race for first here, Matthew. It looks like on the far side of the course in lane 6, it's Mary Buchanan from Great Britain and
Marlene Berg. I don't know that name.
From New Zealand. So yeah, a really good race. And then closer to the camera, it looks like, is it Wendy Tillett from Canada as well, lane number 3. So
yeah, Wendy comes from Montreal.
It's a race of the Commonwealth here, Matthew. Mary Buchanan from Great Britain, Marlene Berg from New Zealand, and Wendy Tillett from Canada. I think it's time we put this sport in the Commonwealth Games. Look at this.
And I love to discover new names in the sport, and we've got a new names, as far as I'm concerned anyway, with Marlene Berg, who's crossed the line in first, ahead of very experienced paddler Mary Buchanan. So well done, Marlene from New Zealand. And
she looks pretty happy with herself too. I think it's been a good hit out for Marlene. Well done. New Zealand through. Thumbs up for Marlene. Good work. And Mary Buchanan as well. By the way, if you're watching and you'd like to comment, we can read your comments, folks. If you have any questions you might want to ask, then Matthew is here to answer them. Don't ask me questions because I know nothing.
All right. Well, I have to point out that we had Diva Atami? Okay. I was wondering what she was. She was definitely a favorite as far as I was concerned, Diva, but she was really at the far back. But she snuck through. She's still through. So Diva Atami is through
in 5th place.
Okay.
So just managed to get through.
Well, I was going to ask you where she was, and you answered. So you do know stuff.
Yep, I do.
Ross.
Correct. And smaller field here, just 3 athletes by the look of things in this field. So we've had a couple of late scratchings. But we do have, I think...
So we've got lane 3, 4,
lane 3,
4
which
and
is,
5.
Yep, so we have Zhu from China, Smith from Great Britain, and Odera from Italy.
Yeah, Sarah Odera, who was on a sprint podium, I think, in 2019 in Qingdao. So that paddler from Italy right now in the lead on the SIC Maui board. That's Sara Odera from Italy. Then we've got Annie Smith from England, Great Britain, right next to her. And she's going to be able to get qualified if she does cross the line, obviously, and if she doesn't get out of her lane. These are the two main rules in this sprint competition. We have in lane number 3 Guangqiu Zhu from China.
On our YouTube chat line, one of our viewers asks, are there crocodiles here? We believe not. And well, just for the athletes who are now looking up at the commentary position, we believe not. There's never been a crocodile spotted here, but that's not to say that there aren't some lurking in the bushes. In case you're going too slow, you might want to think about that. But no crocodiles here in this.
There are crocodile skewers, by the way.
Pardon?
You can skewers. You can have a little crocodile barbecue if you want at some of the local Thai markets. I haven't tried. Let's try together, Ross.
Maybe.
All right, Sara Odera on the SIC Maui board with the SIC hat. From Italy, comes from the north of Italy. She's been a regular on the ICF circuit, whether at regional events or on the ICF World Championships.
Sorry, Matthew. That wraps up our women's 50-plus competition. And now, in a moment, we'll turn our attention. But let's just go back quickly over that women's 50-plus, Matthew. If we have a look at our results, who caught our eye there? Who do we think was... I don't think
I'm going to stick with Marlene from New Zealand, Marlene Berg from New Zealand, to beat Mari Buchanan, who is definitely one of the favorites in this 50-plus women competition. Is definitely a big feat straight away from that first race. So that definitely impressed me. Also, Penny Tsautu, she finished second, but I know she's...
Marcon was very good as well.
And Emmanuel Marcon, yeah, of course.
You know who we didn't see? We didn't see the defending world champion.
We didn't see Petra. Yeah, I was pretty sure she was showing up for this event. I'm gonna have to check if she is lined up for the technical race in the long distance. Yeah, that's a big surprise.
So here we have Peter Weddert, and he will be racing in our second heat of this morning. So we'll get to see our world champion in action, Matthew, and we'll get a bit of a feel for what sort of form he's in going into this World Championships.
Yeah, but actually we won't have to wait for heat number 2, because in heat number 1 we have Daniel Pardes from Alicante, Spain, and he probably has the biggest record of medal collections and world titles in the 50-plus men over the past 2 years. He won everything in 2021 in Lake Balaton. He won all 3 disciplines, so that's Danny Paris. And what's in hit number 2, Peter Weidert, what's interesting about Peter is that he actually won the title in his last year in the 40-plus men category and won the title last year in 2022 in his first year in the 50-plus men category. So Peter Weidert from Germany on the Lightboard Corp board.
That'll be a good race, though, because he's up against Martin Marinov from Australia.
Was the first world champion in that 50-plus category in China, in Qingdao. Absolutely.
So we'll get to see. That should be one of the good races. And, of course, in our first heat, we've got, talking about Olympic champions and Olympic greats, Larry Kane.
Larry Kane.
From Canada.
Absolutely.
That is Olympic. Alongside your Tommy Boudes, your Martin Marinovs, Larry Kane is Olympic royalty.
Absolutely. And he's also a coach and has some amazing technique that he can share with lots of athletes following him. But what's special about Larry is that, and what's surprising here is that he's also doing the sprints. We've seen him lined up on some ultra long distance races. Like the Chachachak race, which is a 50-kilometer plus event, and being on the podium of that race, if not actually winning it once or twice. So yeah, Larry Kane definitely one to watch in this competition for sure.
Big thank you to Neo Nix watching at home, watching our YouTube coverage, for your very positive feedback. It's lovely to get some nice positive feedback early on, Matthew. Last year, it sort of ran off the rails a little bit. We got hijacked by the conditions. My excuse looking back upon last year was that we were a victim of the cold, the long days, which made us a little bit tired and restless, and the hole that they put on the course that a lot of athletes fell into, and it did throw us off our game a little bit last year. But this year, we've promised the ICF that we're going to bring some professional commentating to this event, at least for the first morning. We'll just see how it plays out after that. But we will try and keep you informed and entertained for the next few days. My name is Ross Solly. Mathieu Astier from Total SUP is sitting here alongside me. He brings the brains and the brawn. Broadcast.
And some magic.
Some Australians them down.
You know what? Every time I sit next to Euros for 5 days, my English level is improving so much.
Isn't that good to know? Good to know. My level my French, my words that I thought I understood in French, I no longer understand. So, and look at the athletes now gathering behind. A bit of a difference this year. A bit more formal, I suppose, Matthew, let's say, with the start line, because at the first couple of World Championships, it was a bit like the old brown cows. They were just strung out and there was a bit of an honesty system in place there, wasn't it, for the start? And some athletes were able to get a little bit of an advantage over others depending on where they were standing at the start. This year, you can see we have the official starting gates there. We have narrower lanes than we've had in previous years as well, so that's made an extra challenge for the athletes. I think the lanes are only 6 metres wide. No, sorry, I'm looking now for some guidance from my man, Mr. Hoishan Kwon. He said say 9. That's just the first number. It's a lucky number in Korea, apparently. But I can tell you, hand on my heart, that the lanes are a little bit narrower this year, Matthew, which adds another bit of a challenge for the paddlers, just to because you can't go out of your lanes. And in previous years, we've seen athletes just going all over the place and no rhyme or reason to it. But this year, they've got to be a little bit more.
Well, I have to say I'm very glad to see marked lanes throughout the 200-meter course. This is actually something new, and I'm very happy that the ICF and the local organizers listen to the athletes requiring or asking for that. Obviously, there was a couple of mishaps in the past events. This will definitely avoid any paddlers crossing their lane and blocking other paddlers. So obviously you have to stick to your own lane all the way to the finish line to make it fair. We've got our first heat of the 50+ men coming up. We've got Thomas Straubel from Germany. We've got Darren Pratt from Australia. From Hungary, Gabor Szabo, also definitely a big name to watch. From Thailand, the local paddler is Ponrote Ngamjayapon. From Japan, Kochi Matsumoto. From Spain, one of the favorite, Daniel Pardes. From New Zealand, Scott Kean, that's also a name I recognize.
Yeah, he was very good last year in Gdynia, I remember.
Indeed, and obviously Larry Kane, the Olympic champ. From Canada, that's heat number 1, already a stacked heat in the 50+ men's.
And there's 8 in this field, and I can tell you, for the men's 50+, the first 7 all go through to the quarterfinals. So
that's easy. Even you guys could
there's
go.
no such thing as easy. Easy does not belong in the dictionary. There's no word for easy. There's no easy in STUP. And we're underway, and it may actually well be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We actually only have 7 in this race. So I think we are missing from. Are we missing Danny Perez?
I don't see an NSP board, and NSP is definitely Daniel Pardes' brand.
That's a big out.
Yeah.
Look at Larry Kane, the Olympian. Look at him go, folks.
Yeah, look at that stance, though. Reminds you of canoe sprinting, doesn't it?
Well, you don't stand up in canoe sprinting, but
no. But look at that.
Yeah,
stance,
look at
though.
that. Though. Yeah. No,
he's really, really low on his board, on his knees, and he has got a big lid.
Well, he's putting out an early
for himself already.
He's putting out an early warning to the rest of the field that he's here to cause mayhem, and look at that, crossing the line comfortably in first. Well done, Larry Kane. Give us a wave, Larry.
So who's going to take second? It's going to be from New Zealand, Scott Kean. In third, from Hungary, Gabor Szabo. In fourth, the Japanese, Koichi Matsumoto. And in fifth, the Australian, Darren Pratt. And all paddlers are through, actually, because we only have 7. Yeah, Daniel Paris did not show up for the race. Well, that is a big surprise. I don't know what happened there. Obviously, some strategic
that's a big
choice.
Outpost. That throws this race wide open, doesn't it?
It is surprising. Maybe focusing on technical racing and long distance only. Daniel Paris was organizing just a few days ago the Gran Carrera del Mediterráneo, which is a big event in Alicante, in Santa Pola, in Spain. The second biggest event actually in that region after the World SUP Festival Costa Blanca, which is also organized by Daniel Paris, and that was just a few days ago. So he took his plane right after that. So maybe Daniel Paris did not show up because he needed to rest and is probably focusing on
might have a bit of jet lag.
On
might have a bit of jet lag
on other disciplines. Yeah.
Here, confirmation there, Larry Kane, comfortable winner. Scott Keon from New Zealand, Koichi Matsumoto from Japan finishing third. But as Matthew mentioned, all 7 athletes will go through. Right, here we go.
All right, next heat, we've got Robert Zdrewierski from Poland, Martin Marinov from Australia, Hidehiko Fukushima from Japan, Peter Weidert, the defending champion from Germany, Somchat Kanyanama Watana from Thailand, Zsolt Peto from Hungary, Julio Perez from Spain, and Christophe Connery. Actually, that's a French name because he comes from France before settling down in Chile in lane number 8. That's him lifting his paddle in lane number 8.
So 2 world champions going in this race. Mr. Martin Marinov in lane 2. And in lane 4, Peter Werdert, the defending champion from Germany. Let's watch those 2. All these athletes, though, it looks like we're missing a couple in the middle of the field. So I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All these athletes will go through to the quarterfinal. So a chance to keep your powder dry, maybe, and just focus on the next round. You can see Peter Werdert, though, gee, he looks strong, doesn't he? He's gone out nice and strong here, Matthew. He's taken an early lead early on.
Yes, and what's special about Peter Weider's board is that it's hollow. Lightboard Corp, the German brand, being known for their hollow boards. He is very much in the lead now with a full board space for himself at the top of the field. And we also have a great interview with him just a few days ago, published on totallsup.com. You can read about Peter Weidert, the 2022 ICF World Champion, Sprint World Champion, on totallsup.com.
Martin Marinov into second position, I believe. And then in lane 5, it's the Thai paddler, Somchat Kanjanawatana. Actually, no, I think he's out. I think he's one of the athletes that's missing. No, who's missing? We're missing the Hungarian, are we? Zsolt Peto did not race. So he was the athlete who did not start. Everybody else looks like they are safely through to the next round. Look pretty strong. What did you think? Is he in gold medal winning form by what you saw there?
Well, I saw Peter compete a few times this year already, and he is in top form. So there's no reason why he wouldn't be able to defend his title again this year, which would make it a third gold medal for him. But obviously, it's early days or early moments in this competition. But it's a pretty fairly easy. I don't have any other word. You have to teach me some synonyms.
That's a good word. I think that,
qualification for Peter.
Yeah, I mean, for all those paddlers there, no one was going to miss out on the next round. It certainly takes a lot of the pressure off. So we now move into the third heat, and let's look down here. We've got Mark Forrester from Spain in his race. He'll be another.
Yeah, Mark Forrester. He's actually the guy who taught me how to paddle in Barcelona when I used to live there. So I'll be cheering for him. I'll also be cheering for Gerd Weissner. He's the founder of Lightboard Corp, in Germany, also the founder of the SUP Alps Trophy. And he's also a very fast paddler. He was on the podium last year. And he's in the middle of your screen, lane number 4.
So we do have 8 paddlers in this race. We have Adam Norfolk from Australia, Mark Forrester from Spain. We have Heguang Zhang from China, Gerd Wesner from Germany, John Shiminato from Japan, Wasan Manyan from Thailand, Ilya Netagin from representing the ICF, and Aliu Kumar from India. And it looks like in lane 6, is it, Manyan from Thailand, who's put out a good race. And also in lane 2, it is Mark Forrester, as you would expect, and Gert Wesner from Germany.
Pretty tight race.
Nice race. Very good race. Look at that across the field.
By the Thai athletes. In lane number 6 there.
And right next to him, it is representing the ICF, Nettigan. But as we get down to the finish line, this is going to be our closest finish of the day so far, I think. But it's going to be the Thai paddler who gets, oi! And he sits down on his bot as he crosses the finish line. So it is the Thai paddler, Wasan Manyan, who got through first. I think, was it Forrester that got second?
I think so, yeah.
Mark Forrester. And maybe Gert Wesner just taking third ahead of...
That's Mark Forrester right there on your screen from Barcelona.
Just ahead of Nettigan representing the ICF. So good race there for the Thais. They've got a nice, strong contingent here. They've, as you would expect, on their home course. Fantastic to see early on in this competition some of the Thai paddlers doing really well here.
All right, we've got the...
Yep, so this confirmation is really close for second and third.
It was the Thai first, and then Mark Forrester from Barcelona. We actually have another representative of Barcelona in lane number 1 in the next heat. That's William Fernandez, Barcelona, Spain. On Dunziger is in lane number 2 from Germany. We've got the Austrian Holger Assenflug. We've got from China Ruixi Jiang in lane number 4. Mark Yuen from Singapore, lane number 5. Lane number 6 is Pison Tanin Lertzak. I met this guy yesterday. He was super ecstatic to be here. And from Japan, Takeshi Ojiri. And from Ireland, Gary McClure. So full field here. Let's just see. Ooh, we might be missing someone in the middle, are we? My money is going on lane number 3. Holger, actually from Germany, on Dunziger as well. I haven't seen William Fernandez.
I think we're missing lane 4, are we, Matthew? I think the paddler from China is not here. All right, so 1 lane missing. That means that all these athletes should qualify for the quarterfinals right away. And as expected, Mr. Holger Assenflug from Austria in the lead, followed closely by Arne Dunziger from Germany. On the other side of the field, in third place, we have, I think that's, is that Pison? Or Takeshi Ojiri? I think that's Takeshi Ojiri right next to Gary McClure. That's our top 4. Then in 5th place, we've got William Fernandez in lane number 1. But Holger Hassenflug, former surf champion, converted to stand-up paddle racing from Austria on the Sonova board, qualifies and wins this heat ahead of Arne Dunziger on the starboard from Germany. And we've just been delivered our first coffees of the day by Mr. Michel Alacorn, and I've got to say, he just recently got married, Matthew, and I think married life agrees with him because, 12 months ago when he was a single man, he would not spend a single cent on anybody. He was as tight as a fisher's bot. And here he is today. He's come back full of coffees. He shouted everybody in the commentary position coffees. And he looks like he's enjoying himself. So congratulations on married life, Michelle, and thank you very much for the coffees. Much appreciated.
Thank you, Michelle.
He's a good bloke, isn't he? Isn't he a nice guy? And you were saying early on that you didn't understand a word he was saying, but...
I sang him the Beatles song yesterday, the Michel, ma belle song. He loved it. Yeah, confirmation. Holger Hasenflug from Austria won that hit number 4 already in the 50-plus men event, sprint event. We're moving on to hit number 5, and that's with Norbert Hodl from Austria, Amos Kahana representing the ICF, Jürgen Kress from Germany, Chanrong Chen from China, Chao Yang Teng from Taipei, Augusto Garcia Sr., a former windsurf world champion in lane number 6, and Alan Lim from Singapore, who's been pretty active on social media this week. You can follow him on Instagram, Alan Lim,
And
Singapore.
a question on our live stream, Matthew, from Quaking Moby. Guys, how's the weather on the channel? Is there a wind? Well, there's a slight cross breeze. It's blowing from, I don't even know which direction that is, but it's from the outside lane across towards our commentary. But it's not very strong, Matthew. I don't know if it's going to would affect the paddlers too much.
I don't think so, especially since we have a big
grandstand.
A great stand, yeah, protecting the course. And look at that in lane number 1. That's a great race by Norbert Hodl, also on a Sonova board.
So just 5 athletes here, so all of these athletes will safely go through to the next round. But it's a very strong performance by the man in lane 1, Norbert Hodl from Austria.
I love those drone shots just in front of the paddlers. You can see the drone flying just a few meters ahead of Norbert Hodl from Austria. So 2 Austrians qualifying or winning the heats. That's maybe a sign of what's to come next after Holger Hasenflug in the previous heat. Norbert Hodl, who I believe is or was a male model, handsome dude from Austria, also very nice guy.
You can't comment on people's looks, Matthew. That's sexist.
Not even when they're good looking.
He's very, very strong-looking man, though, isn't he? Good to see him in full flight there in the 5th heat of our 50-plus men's competition. Now, the next heat.
Oh, I'm very excited about the next heat,
are.
actually, because we have Mr. Olivier Gariou from New Caledonia, France, the father of Noik and Vaik, 2 world champions. Is Olivier Gariou going to duplicate what his 2 boys have done in the past 2-3 years on the international scene, with maybe a podium in the 50-plus men? He's definitely capable of. I know that is very, very strong, and he's been definitely training hard for this. We also have Bernard Boyan from Slovenia, who lives in San Francisco, in the U.S. We have from China Weiyua Peng, George Samniotis from Greece.
I think he's missing. Let me just check here. We do have an athlete, though, from Malaysia. I think this is our first athlete from Malaysia today. But I'm just checking who's there, because there's a couple missing from this. So lanes 2, 3, 4, and it looks like 6, is it? So we're missing our athlete from Malaysia as well. So 2, 3, 4, and 6.
Yeah, and we have also in lane 6, yes, Simon Trudel-Perrault from Montreal, Canada. I spoke to him yesterday. He's usually on a Taiga board, which is a Canadian, French-Canadian brand. He had to settle for a Sonova board for this competition. Probably rented with our friend from Chem Sports, is it?
Yep. Nice, relaxed style there from... Does he paddle like his sons, Matthew, or similar style?
Well, I have to say I'm impressed. Whatever the style is, I see a bit of a Tituan Puyo touch actually in that stroke. And yes, indeed, Olivier Garriot from France wins that hit number 6. Then it's from China, Wei Huaping. So making an international entrance on the SUP scene, Olivier Garriot, 52-year-old from Nouméa, New Caledonia, France. Here's a replay. And I believe both Olivier and Vaik, his son, who's competing in the juniors, will be competing on Sonova, while Noé Garriot is an official international tiki team rider with Starboard.
Just checking, I think that Bernard Beaujean was in that race. I think he's the oldest paddler we've had today. He's 61.
Well, if he was in lane number 1, I'm not entirely sure he was in there, but...
So he's not there.
Okay. Carrying on with another athlete from France in lane number 1, Vincent Verpilla. Is he actually in lane number 1? I'm not entirely sure. From Italy, Daniele Cani. From Canada, Geoffrey Tam. From Malaysia, Nick Bourra. Actually, it's a French guy, Nicolas Bourra, but representing Malaysia. From China, Gang Wang. From Greece, Ioannis Asimakopoulos, and from Switzerland, also a top name to watch, Guido Donze. How many athletes have actually...
6. There are 6 on the line, I think.
So 6 who should all qualify.
Because 7 go through. So 6, all these athletes will go through. All these athletes will go through to the next round. And looks like, as you said, Guido Donze from Switzerland has made a very strong start, as has... Across in lane 2, Daniele Cani from Italy. So who are we missing? We're missing, I think it might be lane 1. Yeah, play Vincent may be missing.
Yeah, Vincent Verpilla, I don't see him in lane number 1. He comes from the Canoe region, I think, on the west coast of France, in the south of France. He's a outrigger canoe paddler, probably focusing on other disciplines for the rest of the week. But pretty impressive, Guido Donze right there on your screen from Switzerland.
Oh, look at this though. Good race here for first, because across in lane 2, Daniel Cani is challenging now for the lead.
Absolutely, now taking the lead, Daniel Cani, and changing the stance right in front of our eyes on the Sonova board. So it's Sonova versus Starboard, 2 Thailand-based.
Look at this finish. Companies.
Guido.
I think he went early.
Yeah,
he went too early.
He did, and he lost in the balance in the making.
Yep. Just went maybe one stroke too early there and gifted the race. It doesn't matter, of course. They're both safely through. Daniele Cani from Italy is through in first position, though. Guido Donze in second. Some great racing. Let's see what have we got on the text line. Yes, Jakob Wilczynski, he says, can I get a shout out? Yes, you can. Hello, Jakob. What?
I didn't understand the question.
You don't know? It's not a question, my friend. He says, can I get a shout out? And I just gave him a shout out. There's no question. All you need to say, Matthew, is hello, Jakob. Great to have you on board.
Hello, Jakob. Welcome on board. Make sure you share that live stream. And feel free to ask some questions. We'll try our best to answer them. Or at least Ross will.
I'm doing my bbest.
Daniele Cani from Italy, who wins this last heat. Heat number 7 coming up. Heat number 8 with, I recognize the last name, Jessel. He's, I think Alexander Jessel is the dad of Hector Jessel. They come from Cornwall. We've got Paolo Nardini, the companion of Sara Odera from Italy.
We are missing a couple, though. Let's have a look here. I think we're missing... Looks like lane 1 we're missing, so Jessel is not there. Nardini is there. Looks like we're missing lane 3. Lane 4 is there. Richard Proust.
Richard Proust, yeah, I saw him this morning in the bus.
Chris Stringer is there from Canada. Lane 7 is there, I think. Yes, Lane 7 and Lane 8 are both there. So Marilukas from
6 and 7 then.
Greece and Skarsgård from Sweden.
Yeah, Johan Skarsgård from Sweden, whom I met at an ICF World Ranking event this year, the Baltic Skrea Strand Paddle Race, which was in August, an amazing event organized by Tommy Peterson. All right, so who have we got in the lead right now?
It's a good race. Oh, nearly had a stack there, but he's managed to recover. I think that was in lane 6, the Greek.
So, yeah, looks
Lefteris
like
Marilukas.
Chris Stinger, Lefteris Marilukas seem to be in the lead right now, with Richard Proust in lane number 4, probably in third place. It's a pretty tight race between the top 4, with Johan Skarsgård at the very end as well in that top 4, and I think we've got Paolo Nardini in lane number 2 in 5th place, and getting his qualification to the quarterfinals, which are coming up later on today.
Nice race there for 2nd and 3rd as well, but it is the Greek who crosses in 2nd place, Marilukas from Skarsgård from Sweden. But a good race there for Chris Stringer.
Yeah, Chris Stringer definitely put in a great performance there from Canada.
He's got the Chris Stringer. He's got the David Crosby look about him. You know You know who David Crosby is?
I think there's another generation of musicians. I know who he is.
Yeah, you know Crosby, Stills, Nash and
Absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely.
For all our younger listeners, you'll have no idea what I'm
pulling
talking
your
about.
leg.
Yes. There he is there, David Crosby.
And did you see the shape of that paddle? That's a new...
Jeez, look at that. What is that?
That's a new paddle by Quickblade. It's been out for a few months now and is being used more and more by Quickblade paddlers, obviously. And I haven't tried it yet. I'm very...
Tell me the potential advantages of the new paddle from what you've seen of it.
Well, you know what? I haven't really looked into it. I think it's wider. I think the volume has been put on volume emphasis has been put on the width rather than on the length, and that might have an advantage over not reaching out as deeply into the water. But I will definitely research it in the coming days.
So we just have 5 in this race. We're missing a couple in the middle of the field. But lane 1 we have Kyuchi from Japan. Lane 2 Chris Dixon from New Zealand. Lane 3 Lars Mortensen from Denmark. And lane 4 we have Derek Schrotter from Canada. And then I think we're missing lanes 5 and 6. And lane 7 we have Karsten Kermis from...
Yeah. The favorite, as far as I'm concerned, in this in this race, and is actually in the lead right now, lane number 7, Karsten Kermis from Germany on a starboard. In the lead with
actually, we do have
Sonova rider,
the Lithuanian Nursigen. I thought he was missing. No, that's lane 4. Sorry, Derek
Schrotter from Canada in the lead now. In lane number 4, so in second place we have Karsten Kermis from Germany.
And then across on to the closest to the commentary position in lane 1, it is Kyuchi from Japan. I believe he is there. Yes, he'll cross down into 3rd position. The New Zealander, Chris Dixon, is crossing the line now. He will be safely through, and then Lars Mortensen from Denmark, the Dane, also through to the quarterfinals.
And everybody's cruising really in this hit number 9 with an automatic qualification for the quarterfinals as long as they reach the finish line.
So that wraps up our men's 50 plus heats. Matthew, some very good racing, some good results there. I don't know if anybody particularly stood out to you more than anyone else. Of course.
Well, Peter Weidert definitely did. Olivier Gariou as well.
Yeah.
Who do we have? We had the two Austrians, Holger Assenflück and Norbert Hodl. Also, that was pretty impressive. Daniele Cani, that fight with Guido Donze was. We're probably going to see that again in the coming races in that 50+ men's discipline category. And then Chris Stinger also looked impressive from Canada. And finally, also from Canada, Derek Schroeter, who had a good performance in hit number 9. And we're moving on to the first hit of the 40+ women's sprint competition.
And on the text line from Jeff Hollerbeshen, he says, "I love my Stingray OC paddle. It's a great new shape," says Jeff. So there you go. There's some positive feedback already for the new paddle.
Yeah, it is called the Stingray indeed, and it was released by Quickblade just a few months ago. I first saw a glimpse of it at a Tahitian event at the Waterman Tahiti Tour, and one of the participants brought that Stingray paddle. I think it was just before it was officially released, and then I saw it again with it in the hands of Itzel Delgado, the Infinity rider from Peru, who was using it in Les Sables d'Olonne at a top international event just a few months ago.
So as we prepare for the first heat in the women's 40+, let us know on the text line where you're watching us from today. I've got Jackie has sent a message saying, "Go Team New Zealand." Let us know on the chat, on the YouTube chat, where are you watching us from today? Whereabouts in the world are you watching? If you want a shout out, just for today, Matthew is promising to give a shout out for free. Any other day, if he gives a shout out, he normally charges 1 franc for a shout out.
It's actually 50 baht. I charge 50 baht for shout outs. Starting tomorrow.
For a shout out. So if you want a free shout out from the voice of stand-up paddling, Mr. Matthew Athier, send us a message and he will give you a free shout out today. It's a one-off opening day offer at the 2023 ICF Stand-Up Paddling World Championships, coming to you from Pattaya in Thailand, from this very impressive facility here. Canoe sprint use it, rowing use it, canoe slalom use it, stand-up paddling use it. It's just a really, really impressive facility that the Thai Federation has put together, and I think everybody's going to enjoy racing here and enjoy these conditions. It's warm, no doubt about that. And we have from the CS Pro Creativity Club, Go Malaysia. We're watching in Malaysia. Georgia Schofield, shout out from the officials boat at the finish line. And folks, over the coming days, you'll see some of Georgia's fantastic work. She's our official photographer here. I'm looking forward to the day. I'm surprised she's not in her wetsuit today, actually, and in the water. She normally gets in the water to take those shots that nobody else gets. But today she's sitting on the safety of the official boat at the finish line, staying dry today. Watching from Los Angeles, says Synergy 3K. Caesar Lim, shout out from Toronto in Canada. Jacob is watching with Chris Stringer's son. Shout out to Susan of Malaysia, first time out there, very proud of Susan. Anasaya Hati, shout out from Indonesia. Hello to our Indonesian friends. We've already seen a few Indonesian paddlers today, and An Tuan watching from Vietnam. So people watching from all over the world, let us know where you are watching today, and we'll give you a bit of a shout out. We'll get Matthew, he can give you a shout out for a cut price rate today. Jeff says, I love Georgia's photos. She's one of the best photographers out there. Yep, we'd agree with that. She is fantastic, and looking forward to sharing her photographs of this event throughout the next few days. And if you're watching the live stream and at some stage you see just a head bobbing in the water, That'll be Georgia. She loves just getting in the wetsuit. In fact, it's too hot for the wetsuit, so I would imagine she'll just go out in the bikini and get in the water and take those action shots. YP Loke watching from Singapore. Thank you for being part of our coverage. Georgia's saving the water housing for the beach, she says. Okay, I'm looking forward to seeing Georgia's work in the water where there are. I don't know if there's sharks or not there. There's no crocodiles here. There maybe might be some sharks or something. I'm not sure. But Georgia, we might have to cover her in pig fat before she goes in because I think, from what I believe, sharks hate pig fat. Nobody's ever heard of a shark attacking a pig, and there's a reason for that. Sharks hate pig fat. Righto, here we go, folks. This is our first heat, the Sprint Masters 40 plus for women. The top 5 will go straight through to the quarterfinal, and we have Yin Pan from Malaysia, Arini Dandolaki from Greece, Lidvina Champendal from Switzerland, Ziha Lu from China, Natalie Rendell from Great Britain, Panani Promsen from Thailand, Manang Wang from China, and Trish West from Australia. Top 5, Matthew, all go through to the next round. We may be missing a paddler somewhere. Let me have a look here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lane 6 we seem to be missing, which is Panani Promsen from Thailand. She is missing, so we have 7 paddlers here. 5 will go through to the quarterfinal.
And lots of unknown faces as far as I'm concerned in that first heat of the 40 plus women. I do recognize one name, Lidvina Champendal from Switzerland, who is a bit of a Swiss captain, or a bit of a captain for Team Switzerland. She is making a comeback to the international SUP racing competition this year after a little break. But we know that China can produce some top athletes. It's just that we haven't seen many of them on the international scene. So I'm very curious to find out what China can provide in terms of athletes in this week.
Hello to Jeffrey watching from Singapore. We have Kylie who goes Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Are SUP boards edible, says Neo. They look like those hard candies. Have you ever tried to eat a SUP board, Matthew? I don't think. Have you ever tried? Sorry, it's my English. Have you ever tried to manger a SUP board?
Why would I do that?
I have no idea. Maybe they're edible for sharks, but that's about it. Michael says, I'm loving this. Go Canada, says Michael Ma. Yes, indeed. The Canadians have already had a very good morning.
It's actually not your English, it's the question itself, which made me ask you to repeat that question. There they are. Hit number 1 of the 40 plus women's competition in the sprints, day 1 of the 2023 ICF SUP World Championships in Pattaya, Thailand. Who have we got in the lead? It's very a tight race, actually.
It's very even. Looks like in lane 2, is it? It's Dandolaki from Greece. Looks like going out nice and strong. And right next to her, it's Ladvina Champendal from Switzerland. Yeah, and across on the far side of the course, Matthew, who's that? Lane 7.
I think that lane 7. Man Wang from China. I was talking about China just a few seconds ago. So
she is putting in an impressive
performance. She is definitely very impressive. Yeah, absolutely. Man Wang. That's definitely one name to remember for the rest of the 40 plus women's competition.
She may be going faster because she doesn't have a number on her boat. We'll turn a blind eye to that at this stage.
And in second place, it is Lidvina Champendal from Switzerland on the son of a board, lane number 3, followed by I guess lane number 5, Natalie Rendell. Yes, from Great Britain.
So good race there for the Chinese paddler. She is through first. Manan Wang, that was a very impressive race because it's a pretty good field, this one. Champendal from Switzerland second.
And the top 5 are qualified for the quarterfinals, and the rest are out of the competition. So who came in 6th place right there in the middle. I think that was lane number 4 from China, Chaohua Liu, born in 1978, and I can tell you that is a very, very good year.
The year you were born, you look so much older. Anisha Harty says, I bet this is an upwind. It looks like, I'm just looking across at the flags now, Matthew, has the wind, I think the wind might have changed a little bit in direction. I think they are paddling into a bit of a breeze now by the look of those flags.
Yes, absolutely, but still a light wind.
It's only light. Go Yin Pan says, Sylvia from Malaysia, cheering for Yin Pan of Malaysia, says our...
All right, we've got the results. It is Maman Wang indeed winning that race ahead of Lidvina Champenel from Switzerland. And top 5 are going through. So we've got 6 heats in the 40-plus women in that first main round. So coming up, heat number 2, we've got Xiao Yuli from Taipei, Verity Thomas from from Great Britain, Encarnacion Garcia from Spain, Yan Lipan from
no
China.
lane 4, no lane 5, I think, by the look of things.
All right, so that would be in lane number 6, Eleftheria Tsagaraki from Greece, Florence Julen from Switzerland, and then Petronella van Malsen, definitely a favorite, from the Netherlands on the Mistral board there. In lane number 8, that's her in the lead already, I think. Petronella van Malsen, and you can see that wind is actually picking up a little bit.
Yes, well done now.
You can see that bib floating in the wind right now.
Our online viewer picked it up before we did. It has picked up a little bit there, the breeze. It's not windy, but it's just a slight headwind that the paddlers are paddling into now. But it is Van Melsen out in front. I think we are missing a couple in the middle of the field, I think, but it looks like it's lane 2. Is it Verity Thomas from Great Britain?
Oh, and there was a fall at the back.
There is a fall.
In lane number 5, I think. Or lane number 5. So we've got, is that Verity Thomas in Thomas,
third? Third, I think. She slowed down here at the finish, just cruising across the finish line. No need to bust a vessel there because they are all safely through. In the end, it was Van Melsen first, Julen from Switzerland second. She looks pretty happy with herself, Matthew. Good day out on the water.
Yes, indeed. So we've got our first top 5 qualifying for the final, and an unfortunate paddler in lane number 5, the Australian, I think. Is that lane number 5? Yeah. Janelle Rister, unfortunately, missing out a chance to qualify for the quarterfinals with that fall. And here's a replay. You can see Petronella van Malsen, who's been super active on the international SUP racing scene over the past 10 years. On all kinds of competitions, including some ultra long distance ones, but mostly on the Euro Tour, the European Tour.
So it wasn't the Australian because she wasn't racing, so it was the Greek paddler who went for a swim in lane 6.
All right, hit number 3 coming up from New Zealand, Angela Mackie from Spain. That's a bit of a strange name to find actually in a sprint race. Ibaya Ruano Moreno, a SUP surf champion, a windsurf champion. And she's decided to sprint. So we're definitely going to have a close eyes.
Oh, she's got a bit of speed too. Look at her.
She's doing. Yes, she is definitely putting in a good show. Look at her, Ibaya Ruano Moreno. We've got also from Germany, Beate Kuxma. From Thailand, Aom Sun Chun Wong. From China, Wai Yang. From representing the ICF, Inbal Zelmanovic. And from Canada, Danielle Holdsworth.
Now, Danielle Holdsworth had a pretty good, if I remember correctly, had a pretty good race in Gdynia.
In Gdynia, absolutely,
last year, so we expect her to be up there challenging.
But look at Ibaya Ruano Moreno. Did you expect that Ibaya, a SUP surf champ, was also a sprinter. Well, we know that her friend Alba Alonso Frey is definitely a good SUP racer now. I think she actually borrowed that starboard sprint board.
She's leaving nothing to chance here. She is putting in a really strong performance, as is our New Zealand friend Angela McKee. She will cruise through into second place. And then it is Danielle Holsworth over the other side of the course who will also go through. Good race here for the last 2 positions. Remember, 5 go through. So there are 3 athletes here competing for 2 positions. Who will miss out? It looks like it might be the athlete from the ICF who will miss out.
So it is the Thai qualifying in 4th and the
Chinese paddler 5th. And so it is Imbel Zamanadovic from the ICF who is out of the competition. The first 5 will all go straight through to the quarterfinal.
Ibaya Rolando Moreno, whom we saw a few weeks ago in Peniche, Portugal, in the SUP Surf competition.
Shout out to Nicolas Gonzalez. He thanks us for the live transmission. It is our privilege, and we're very, very happy to bring this to you. Funky goes, go Susan, go. Watching from Sabah in Malaysia. Go Yin Pan. Jeff says, I raced this course at the Dragon Boat World Championships in August. The wind can pick up through the day. And we might be seeing that now. It's just starting to slowly pick up a little bit. And Kay goes, go Angie. Indeed.
All right, in that next heat, we've got the defending champion, Elizabeth Yargues from Barcelona, Spain, in lane number 1.
Lane 2 is missing by the look of things.
So lane number 3, that's Lili Meng from China. Lina Tang in lane number 4 from China as well. We've got Rai Yamaguchi from Japan, representing the ICF. Olga Gudova in lane number 6. And Susan Lear, also multi-time ICF world champion. She was second last year.
She might be missing.
And
I can't see
in
her
lane
out
7,
there.
yeah.
I think she's missing.
I think she's missing too, which is surprising. She's been in Thailand for a few days now. I know she was organizing a SUP race camp with Sanova in Khao Lak just a few days ago.
Anybody who's seen the movie The Hangover will know that funny things happen in Thailand. People go missing. Strange things.
Let's hope you don't go missing, Ross.
Nobody from this event, though, would have been emulating the performance of the chaps in The Hangover.
Look at Elizabeth Yargues. Let's call her Ellie. Ellie Yargues from Catalonia, Spain, the defending champion. She was handled the title last year after a bit of drama, actually, and a bit of confusion, but it was all corrected in the end, with Ellie winning that title in Gdynia, Poland, on her first ICF participation. This is her second time she takes part in an ICF competition, and she's got a big gap for herself on that son of a board, lane number 1 from Spain. Eli Yargues. Who have we got in second?
I think it's
Olga Gudova.
Gudova for representing the ICF will come in second place, and then good race for third. It looks like Yamaguchi from Japan is third, and then Lil Meng from China fourth, and the second Chinese paddler Lina Tang also through to the next round.
That's Eli Yargues right on your screen.
Looking strong, looking very, very strong, and putting herself forward as one of the early favourites, perhaps even, Matthew, for this women's 40
Absolutely.
plus.
And it's surprising not to see Susan Lee, who was the silver medalist last year in the sprint competition, and also multi-time gold medalist. I think Susan Lee won all 3 events in 2021 in Lake Balaton, Hungary. I'm pretty sure of that.
I think you're right from memory. Gee, memory plays tricks when you get to my age, Matthew, but I think you are exactly 100% correct.
A few athletes in 2021 managed that feat. The other one I can think of is Daniel Pardes from Spain.
So I'm happy to say we have a full field here of 7 athletes for the next heat, number 5. There's confirmation of the result of the last race, and Ellie Largest, a comfortable winner. Who have we got in this race, Matthew?
Well, we've got from Greece, Chrysola Mavrakaki. From the ICF, Olga Merkulova. From China, Hong Zhang. From Thailand, Warapon Wiryo Tamar. From Japan, Takayo Yokoyama, who was third last year. We've got Sandrine Berthe, first ICF participation of the water woman from France. And from China, Jun Liu in lane number 7. Look at Sandrine Berthe, Takayo Yokoyama. They should be in the lead early.
Alert listeners at home, alert viewers will notice that I only ever throw to Matthew to introduce the field when I see some names in there that are longer than about 6 letters. So well done, Matthew. There's a couple of tricky ones there, but you've done well. All right, yes, as you predicted, it looks like it might, in fact, be Merkulova, is it, from the, representing the ICF, who's out in front. Yes, it is. In boat number 2, that is Merkulova, and then Zhang from China right next to her, and then across in Yokoyama, is it, from Japan. So where is...
So Sandrine Berthe is there in the mix over there.
She's there. She's going to be safely through, yeah. She will be safely through. Top 5 go through.
But Takayo Yokoyama, who was third last year, is not looking as strong as last year. That's a bit of a surprise to find her not at the front of that race.
I guess, though, Matthew, they would have looked out the field, sized out the field. They know the top 5 will all go through. It is hot out there. It's very taxing on the body and on the mind. So if the athletes can safely get through without exerting too much energy, then I'm sure they will take the opportunity to sneak one through. But good race there for Merkulova.
Yeah, and that's a new name as far as I'm concerned, Olga Merkulova. I guess I'm going to have to do some homework tonight on some of those new names I'm finding out today, as well as the Chinese athlete. Was it Hong Zhang? And Sandrine Berthe and Takayo Yokoyama made it through.
Actually, that'd be
third
good.
and fourth. I would just wonder who was fifth.
That'd be good if you can do some homework. I know you were saying that you were going to spend tonight watching episodes 1, 2, and 3 of The Hangover, but if you can watch, in fact, do some proper homework. Watching episodes of The Hangover is not preparation for an ICF Stand-Up Paddling World Championships.
That depends. Is there a Hangover number 4?
Yeah, well,
let's create our own Hangover movie, Ross.
You are listening to the ICF Wolfpack. We are the Wolfpack here.
So Jun Liu from China is the 5th athlete to qualify for the quarterfinals, and the 2 are out. Coming up from Japan, Chisato Iwasaki, Putaraska Nigri from Thailand, Sarah Waxy from Great Britain, Virginia Panagiotopoulou from Greece, Chuxian Ni from China, Yukui Yuan from China, and Christine Sheridan from Singapore. That's heat number 6, the last heat of the 40-plus women's in this sprint competition. And off they go.
And a good full field here as well. Looks like there are 7 paddlers on the course, so 5 to go through. 2 will miss out. And we're underway, and a really strong Asian contingent in this field. We have a paddler from Japan, Thailand, a couple of Chinese paddlers, and a paddler from Singapore as well. And Sarah Maxey from Great Britain, and Virginia Panagiotopoulou from Greece.
And it looks
representing
like
Europe.
Lane number 6 is in the lead currently, and that's Yukui Yuan from China on the starboard. A lot of energy there.
Yeah, wow, she's putting in a really strong race. And right next to her, it's another Chinese paddler, is it Xuzhang Ni? So the 2 Chinese paddlers going very strongly. And then across on the closest to the camera, it is, looks like it's Iwasaki from Japan, is it, as well, up there in the top 3. So we'll get a view across the course in just a moment. There we go. Look at that. That is a very, very comprehensive victory for the paddler from China.
Yukui Yuan
safely through. Good race for second here. Looks like the Japanese paddler Iwasaki just gets the nod ahead of the second Chinese paddler, Ni. But that was a very comprehensive victory there for the Chinese athlete, Yusi Yuan. So let's see who missed out there, because there are 5 go through, so 2 athletes will miss out.
That's another new name for us to put down as potential candidates for
medals.
For the medals.
Well, certainly for finals. Just to get through to a final here is a tough ask. The quality of the field runs deep, and there's some athletes, some very good athletes, who will miss out on the final. You can guarantee that, because if you look through the list, Matthew, and I know you've been doing your research for some of these events, any one of 8 or 9 athletes could actually win the gold without surprising us, and there'll probably only be 8 in the final. So
yeah, but we do like surprises, don't we?
We do like surprises. So who missed out there? Looks like the athlete from Thailand, Negri, and Panagitopoulos from Greece.
That's actually quite a few Thai athletes not showing up for the sprint competition. That's surprising.
She was here, though. She was here, but she just didn't finish.
Yeah, she was here. Of course, sorry.
So that brings to an end the 40-plus women heats for the sprint. And as you said, Matthew, some impressive names there. Huan from China was very good in her race. Let's have a look at who else. The new name for us, Merkelova, representing the ICF. I think she will cause a few of these athletes to go back tonight and study the tape and just have a look at what she did today, because she was very strong.
Yeah. The big upset of the day was the absence of Susan Lear.
Yeah, but Ellie
Yargues from Catalonia, Spain, got the job done, defending champion. And
we also saw, I think, in the second heat.
Yeah, Petronella van Malsen from the Netherlands as well. Verity Thomas, she looked very good.
Was it Ruana from Spain, who you were surprised to see her racing here, and she was very, very impressive, wasn't she?
I know she's amazing in the waves, but she might be amazing too.
And then we had another Chinese paddler, Man Wang, in the opening heat as well. So really strong competition there for the Chinese team. And we're going to see some pretty fierce racing, I think, in the quarterfinals of the women's 40-plus. So now we turn our attention to the men's 40-plus. We have, let me tell you how many heats we have for the men. We have, let me just do some quick calculations here. Wow, we've got 9 heats, Matthew.
Wow.
9 heats in the men's 40-plus.
Yeah. Do we have the actual official count of the number of athletes taking part in the overall competition?
Well,
there were more than 800, right?
There were more than 900 entries.
Wow.
I'm just looking at my man Hoi Shan Kwon, who he's basically running the show. He's a very important man here. If you get to see him, you might just want to bow your head and acknowledge his importance. How many athletes do we end up having, Hoi Shan Kwon, that signed up? Around 850, Matthew.
Wow.
Around 1,100.
Ooh.
1,100 with athlete support.
That's pretty impressive,
isn't it?
That's a huge jump from last year, and the ICF SUP Worlds have grown year on year. We started in 2019 in Qingdao, China. Then we moved on to Hungary in 2021 at Lake Balaton. What an impressive event! That was my first participation as a commentator at the ICF SUP Worlds. And then last year we were in Poland. How many did we have in Poland last year? 500, 600?
Yeah, I think so, yes.
So we are at least 200. We have at least 200 more athletes taking part in this event, which is pretty huge. Also huge given how far Thailand is from some of the participating nations. Participating athletes, but Thailand has got a huge attractivity as well, huh? I've been here for the past 2.5 weeks already, taking a little family vacation around Thailand, and it's been amazing. It's definitely a great country to visit.
I had the very great privilege of actually living in Bangkok for 1.5 years, a few years back, and it is an incredible country, and the Thais are incredibly welcoming people, and they will go out of their way to make sure you feel welcome and that you feel comfortable. And it's been wonderful so far here this week, and I know that their enthusiasm itself is enough to keep this competition running but the professionalism of the performance of the show that they've been putting on has been excellent so far, and if this is the way it's going to be for the next few days, I am looking forward to this World Championships. Now, a couple of questions on our chat line on our YouTube. If you want to throw us a question, if you want to get Matthew, as I said today, a once-off offer, he will actually pay you 5 francs if you ask him to call out his name. That's how generous he's feeling. Caesar says, will you be interviewing the athletes? Our intention is that we will be interviewing our gold medalists when we get to the final stage. And a text here from Kwakweg Moby says, or he or she, it's snowing in our country now, and it's 7 o'clock in the morning. Can you imagine it?
I can't.
Can you imagine? I mean, we're sitting here in shorts and T-shirt. You've got, looks like the Hawaiian shirt on. Have you, Matthew? Who are you wearing today? Who are you wearing?
Flowery shirt. I was expecting some booth cameras, so I put on a nice shirt for you, Ross.
You have gone above and beyond. Jeff says, go to the Elephant Sanctuary in Pattaya if you have a chance. It's pretty awesome. Will we get a chance? I think it's pretty jam-packed, the schedule. I don't know that there's going to be any sneaky time when we can sneak out and have a look at the Elephant Sanctuary. I hope we can, because there are some wonderful temples around Pattaya. The nightlife, etc. in Pattaya is legendary by itself, but outside of that, there is some wonderful sights around this part of Thailand, and hopefully we will get a chance, Matthew.
Yeah, hopefully. Actually, it's my kids'
since you've been here
today.
a couple of weeks, why don't you draw me up a little itinerary for things I could do if I have an afternoon?
I would gladly do that, actually.
Can you do that? I know. I don't want the things that you would go to. I want the things that your kids would go. I don't want to go to. I don't want to go to those seedy bars that you've been propping up for a couple of nights.
So I guess you don't like ping pong that much, huh?
No, I don't.
Anyway. I've been to for this trip. I actually started in Khao Lak in the south of Thailand, and I moved on to the national park of Khao Sok and stayed in a floating bungalow that's just magical. And then I moved to the one of my favorite islands called Koh Phangan. It's between Koh Samui and Koh Tao. It's just a beautiful beach. It's known for the full moon party, but I didn't go in that area. And my favorite beach over there is called Hat Salad Beach, and that's where I'd love to go.
So as you're obviously learning, listening at home, Matthew does have a lot of money. So if you'd like him to pay you to give you a shout out, feel free, because he's just throwing money around at the moment like it's going out of fashion. All right. Who have we got here, Matthew?
Well, we've got our first heat of the 40-plus men's competition. We've got some big names in there. Heat number 1, we've got Stelios Moustakalis from Greece. We've got Ramon Jimenez in lane number 2 from Spain. We've got Pongpat Patumsuwan from Thailand in lane number 3. In lane number 4, we've got Deng Shiwai from China. In lane number 5, we've got Zheng Zhao Zhu from China. Then we have in lane number 6, Takuya Honda from Japan. Lane number 7, Filip Korsicki from Poland, and then from Australia in lane number 8, Derek Cross.
So for the men's 40 plus, 7 athletes go through, and this is let me just do a quick count here. I think we've got 8 in this field, so 1 athlete will miss out. 7 straight through to the quarterfinal, 1 will miss out and get to go home early, and maybe get a chance to put their towel down on the beach for their own little corner of the beach.
So I guess the big question is not who is going to qualify, but who is not going to qualify in this first heat.
And it is the Thai athlete. Look at this, folks. For the Thai fans watching, your man is out in front at the moment. Pongpat Patumsuwan is out leading the field. So it is Patumsuwan from Thailand. The Thai fans here getting behind their local man. Give him a bit of a cheer, folks. He is putting down some solid paddling here. Good race for second.
And then on the right-hand side, on lane number 7, that's Filip Korsicki from Poland on the NSP board. Lane number 2 is making a good comeback. Ramon Jimenez from actually lane number 1. Stelios Moustakalis from Greece is actually going to.
And look at that finish there from the pole.
Qualification,
I think the Thai paddler, he started to tighten up a little bit as he got towards the finish line. Everything started to hurt a lot, but he still managed to sneak over in second. But it was a big finish there from Korzicki from Poland. I think he managed to snatch the win on the line.
And unfortunately, lane number 5 for Zheng Zhao Zhu, the sprint competition is going to be over from now on.
That was a very close finish, but looks like the Polish paddler just got there ahead of Pongpat Padamswan, who went out really, really hard. He was clearly in front there at the halfway stage of the race, but then everything tightened up. What hurts the most, Matthew, when you get towards the finish line? Is it your legs, your arms, your chest? What is it that's going to start to give way first as you get towards the finish line?
You know what? If you're a good sprinter, you use your legs a lot, and you put a lot of pressure on them. And actually, you don't have a sprint finish on the beach here today. Obviously, we're finishing on the water, but that could actually cause some problems when you have another 20, 30, 40 meters to run on the beach, and that's where you usually see where most athletes have been using their leg muscle a lot in their sprint race. But yeah, I mean, you have to give everything in a 200-meter sprint. So
the next heat looks like we are missing a couple of paddlers in this one as well, I think, Matthew. So that's going to throw this race. Looks like we have lane 1, who is Sakti Wanyali from Thailand. Looks like we're missing
one of the favorites. Olivier Dayomerlu from France is not here. Christian Taha also
Christian
a big
Taha is not
favorite.
here. He's one of the favorites.
So we've got the last 4 lanes. That's Victor Fedul, Li Zhenwu, Sung Ho Han, and Balak Zili from Hungary. We've got Romania, China, Korea, and Hungary. And then lane number 1.
Possibly our first athlete from Romania today. I think I can't remember calling another Romanian athlete. And look at him. He's gone out. Is that him out in front, or is it looks like it might be Lu from China? Is it out in front? Let's have a look here. What number is he?
Well, it's lane number 5.
Yeah,
so it's meant to be Victor Fedul.
Yeah, it is.
From Romania.
So the Romanian, Victor Fedul, is out in front.
And then it's lane number 1 with a slight, tiny advantage over lane number 5 and 7 at the front. But good comeback by the Spaniard.
Ignore those flags on the screen. They are not correct. Oh, hang on. We're calling... Oh. You threw me off there. They called the wrong race. Doesn't matter. That's Yoshida from Japan, who is the winner. Sorry, folks, we've got one race ahead of ourselves there. We skipped a race. We were so excited about today's racing.
Yeah, absolutely. That was Ryohei Yoshida from Japan winning that race. We're calling on the wrong names.
Yeah.
That won't happen again.
Nope. There's our photographer's pontoon, folks. You can see the photographers there, the camera operators. They've got the best seat in the house. It is warm out there, though. So confirmation. There we go. Our apologies, folks, for the confusion there. But Yoshida from Japan, Rui from Spain, Agosol from Australia, Gabriel from Romania, and Sangthongthat from Thailand.
Yeah, and that Patrick Agosol is actually a Frenchman who's been living in Austria for a while now.
All right, now we move on to the race that we already called.
And indeed, we have Olivier Dayomerlu and Christian Taha showing up today.
I thought it was
as
strange.
you would expect.
Yes.
I was very surprised.
Yes, they're both. We've seen them around, so it'd be very strange if they weren't here racing.
Well, what threw me off is the 3 athletes missing.
Yeah.
Hence the confusion. So our apologies. We are now moving on to heat number 3 with Sakta Wanyale from Thailand, Olivier Dayomerlu from France, Christian Taha from Austria, Hu Luo from China, Victor Fedul from Romania, indeed, Li Zhenwu from China, Sung Ho Han from Korea, and Balaz Zili from Hungary. And it's a full house in this 3rd heat.
So 8 athletes on the field and 7 will go through. So just 1 athlete will miss the quarterfinals. Good, strong race. Wow, good even start here. And as you would expect, it's the Frenchman.
Yeah,
Mathieu.
Olivier Dayomerlu, who was 3rd last year, who was bronze medalist in the sprints, currently in the lead on the 4-5 Pro board. He comes from Seignos in the southwest of France, actually 15 minutes away from where I live. And the Frenchman is going to...
Good race here from the Thai paddler on his inside, Saskia Wanyali, who is possibly in second, although maybe across in lane 4 it's Lu from China as well, who is challenging. So it's a very good victory, though, for Olivier Daramelu, who lives just up the road from Mathieu. Has he told you that yet? He crosses in first. Now, who is second? It's the Romanian.
The Romanian Victor Fedul, who was second. So Olivier Daramelu got the job done.
I mean, he did have the advantage of already having heard his race call, because we called his race one race early.
He must have been wondering what was going on.
He must have. See, I can't even feel any pain, and I'm already winning this race. But a good race, good win there for the Frenchman, Mathieu, and he looked strong, didn't he?
Multi-time world champion, Olivier Daramelu from France in different disciplines. In long distance in 2021, in technical race in 2022. He was also on the podiums of the sprint in the 40-plus men category, also last year, behind Tommy Boudet and Artem Avramenko, who got the gold medal last year. I don't know if Avramenko is lined up in this.
Tommy Boudet is definitely here. I saw him earlier on. He's been working on his pectorals as well. He's looking very fit, Mr. Boudet. Looking forward to seeing what he brings to the racing. So hello to Sergio Salazar, who's watching at it's just after 1 o'clock in the morning in Chile. I'm watching the transmission and cheering for Christophe Conroy, who's qualified already. Well done, Sergio. Thank you for staying up late.
It's a good time by Olivier Daramelu. Had a great start. You can see on your screen the official results of the last heat. Heat number 4, we've got Dmitry Sergey from Korea, Bart Janssegers from Belgium, Yi Yuan from China, Ayan He from China, Alistair Hughes from Great Britain, Jitakorn Siwankrash from Thailand, Wenchu Po from Singapore, and Eran Kanias, who represents the ICF.
Might be missing a few here, I think, as well. Looks like we're missing lanes 2 and 3, are we, Mathieu, I think?
Yes, but look at that. I think that's the Thai athletes in lane number 6. Jikatorn Siwankrash. Look at him.
You could
hammering.
You could harness that energy and power a small town.
Wow.
Look at his stroke rate there.
And such a low stance on that sprint
no
board by starboard.
Can he keep this going for 200 metres, though? That's the question. Oh, now he changes side and just pulling things back a little bit, but that's a very impressive.
It is very impressive, and I'm wondering if it's the right thing to do at this stage when you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 athletes lined up at the start, and you know that you're going to get your qualification anyway.
I think he's putting on a show for the hometown fans, though, so good on him.
Absolutely. Look at that. He's going all the way to the finish line with full power from Thailand.
Look at that, folks. Look at that, Thai fans, and an acknowledgement of the crowd there for the man from Thailand,
Jitakorn Siwankrash.
He is safely through. The Korean Dmitry Sergey was second, but look at that. He still looks like he looks very fit and very happy to be through. Yep. That's the official global signal for how was that, folks. I did all right, didn't I? And yes, he did. Siwankrash from Thailand, one of our impressive performers. Look at him. He flew out of the gates here. Look at him go. Straight out of the start blocks.
Well, it's also important to send some messages to your opponents early in the competition.
Yeah.
By
look at that, though. That is daylight second.
Providing a great performance.
Yep. So I remember last year in Gdynia, we had a few athletes who surprised us, and this year I think we're going to see a few surprises as well.
All right, coming up, hit number 5 from Korea, lane number 1, Jung-Sik Yang From Singapore, Matt Lee. From China, Chongjian Liu. From Canada, Daniel Miller. Representing the ICF, Nimrod Nia. From England, Stephen Bishop. From the Czech Republic, Michal Drask. And from Thailand, Sange Monroy. The top 7 out of 8 competitors get their qualification to the quarterfinals straight from this heat. But I can only see 6 athletes right now, so they should all be qualified easily to the next round. So who have we got in the lead? Lane number 5. That's Nimrod Nia, an ICF representative. And then it's lane number 7 in second. That's Michal Drask from the Czech Republic, putting a good show. I think that's a light board, court board in lane number 4. I think that's Daniel Miller. Was that lane number 3?
It looks lane 5. There he is, lane 5 out in front at the moment. It's the Nimrod Nur.
Yeah, but in second place right now, that's lane number 4, Daniel Miller. Canada now moving from 3rd to 2nd place, and someone is making a good comeback at the end of the race. That's lane number 1, Jeong-sik Jang from Korea. Anyway, all athletes in this 5th heat are qualified for the quarterfinals. The number of 7 is what is required for the quarterfinal qualification.
Official announcement for athletes for lunch. The athletes for lunch, you can show your accreditation card with the orange sticker attached and the lunch coupon at the Sports Science Building at the right-hand side of the pontoon. So if you are staying in official accommodation, show your accreditation card at the Sports Science Building. For others who are staying out of official accommodation, you can have lunch at the food truck area. And just regarding transport back to the hotels, back to Jomtien Beach, the first return bus to Jomtien Beach will be leaving at 1 p.m. and they'll leave every 30 minutes after 1 p.m. I hope that all makes sense. So the tall building at the finish line, that is where you will get your lunch if you are staying in official accommodation.
All right, moving on to heat number 6. We've got from Taipei, Tse-Hu Wei. From Germany, Martin Teichmann. I'm really looking forward to seeing Martin race again. He was missing for a while on the international scene. From the ICF, Yuval Dori. From China, Yong-Yung Gu. From Canada, Tim Oliver, also a top paddler. From Lithuania, Tomas Varnas. From Serbia, Nenad Mikovic. And from the Czech Republic, Branislav Slamek. And off they are.
An official question, does time matter or only ranking? Time does not matter in these races. It is just based on where they finish. So first 7 who cross the line here will go through.
All right, I can see a great start by Martin Teichmann from Berlin, Germany. A Sonova rider who unfortunately missed out on last year's competition. Although he was super trained for it, he had a bit of an awkward disease just a few days before the last ICF SUP Worlds in Gdynia. We've got Tim Oliver in the middle.
Big challenge here from the Canadian Tim Oliver. I know we've got a lot of Canadians watching, so get behind your man Tim Oliver. He is really giving this a shake. Between himself and Teichmann from Germany, it's going to be a very good finish. I think the German. Now, it looks like Oliver just easing down at the finish line. But Teichmann gets the bickies. So
Martin Teichmann first. Canada with Tim Oliver in second. We've got in third from Taipei, Tse-Hu Wei in lane number 1. And again, top 7 go through. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 paddlers. So one of them was missing.
The one crossing the finish line now, in fact, in lane 4, I think, misses out.
Oh, lane number 4, yeah.
Yang Gu from China misses out. Because only 7 go through. There are 8 in the field, so... Tetchman looked good.
Yeah, it did, as well as Tim Oliver. Great start. Martin Tetchman made a good comeback towards the end to finish in first place. And as I was saying, he was very unfortunate last year to miss the competition. He was gold medalist in 2021 and was definitely returning as defending champion in 2022. Just to find out that he had a disease which basically kept him in a hospital bed for a few days, just before the event last year. But here he is back, Martin Teichmann, on a son of a board from Germany. And we're moving on to heat number 7. We've got 3 more heats to go in the 40-plus men's.
Some big names in this race as well. Viktor Muratov representing the ICF. Zhang Chuan Liu from Taipei. Reminas Ratchas from Lithuania. Vasilis Kalampakis from Greece. Yinhua Fan from China. Martin Anderson from Denmark. Amos Winterla from Switzerland. And in the extreme outside lane, Mr. Tommy Boudet from Canada. And Tommy will be very disappointed that the officials have made him wear a shirt in this race. If he gets the chance, though, as soon as he crosses the finish line, I'm sure he'll be ripping it off to remind us all of the work that he's been doing on the pectoral muscles over the winter or the Canadian summer. But here he goes. We're underway in this.
Oh, look at him going. Tommy Boudet, the silver medalist from the 2022 ICF SUP Worlds. Started really well in this 200-meter sprint race.
Oh, in the middle of the field, though, there's a big challenge being laid down. I think it is by, is it Fan from China? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The lane 5, yes, the Chinese paddler Fan going out hard, giving Tommy Boudet a bit of a challenge early on. And right next to him, it's Martin Anderson, the Dane. Fan looks like he might have hit the brick wall, though.
Yeah, he missed a couple of strokes there.
Missed a couple, yeah.
And someone is making a comeback on a NSP board. That's lane number 6, I guess, Martin Anderson.
Yep. But it's Tommy Boudet. Look
Denmark.
at him go, the Canadian. Now Fan gets back into his rhythm and starts to put in some hard yards. But it is Tommy and Fan using your favourite paddle there by the look of things. So it is Tommy Boudet who crosses the line in first place. Will he rip his shirt off? No, looks like he's going to keep it on for now. But a good race there from the man from Canada. He looks pretty relaxed, doesn't he? Looks like he's having a good time out there. And it looked like, I think it was Fan from China who managed to get through into second place from the Dane.
Tommy Boudet, who is the team manager for Team SIC Maui. Pretty strong team, actually. Who's here in Thailand with the likes of Ludovic Tolad and Caroline Kunsel from Denmark. David Leao from Brazil as well. Any more names?
So there we have.
And Seychelles is actually
Yep.
a top name who's lined up for the first time at an ICF SUP World Championship.
So we have 2 more races to go. And they're not... Do we have a break after that, or are we ripping straight into it? No, we have a break. We will have a break then for an hour. Is that right, Mr. Kwan?
Yeah, coming up, we've got lane number 1 from China, Yan Liu. Tomas Lelovic in lane number 2 from Slovakia. We've got Georgios Frakos from Greece. Andrius Kurvinskas from Lithuania. Vicente Tortajada from Spain. Reza Naziri from Italy. Tao Wan from China. And Artem Avramenko, the defending champion, in lane number 8.
He's there.
He's
but
there.
I think lane 7 is missing.
Lane 7 is not here.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Everyone else is there. So everyone will go through. But let's watch the defending champion. Wow, look at him. He's already looking very smooth on the extreme outside lane there on the left of your screens watching at home. He is the defending champion from Ukraine.
Yeah, and also from Slovakia, Tomas Lelovic on the opposite side in lane number 2.
Oh, yeah, he's
two
gone.
starboards at the front. And Tomas Lelovic, who's from Slovakia, but who lives in the south of Finland. And is he actually in the lead right now?
I think
Tomas?
it's very close. I think it is. Tomas Lelovic is out in front.
In front right now with a 1 meter lead over Artem Avramenko from the Ukraine. So good performance there by Tomas Lelovic. And he knows who is next to. So definitely a great power display by Tomas Lelovic, who wins the race in front of the defending champion Artem Avramenko from the Ukraine. In third place from Italy, Reza Naziri, of course, stand-up paddler, but also an outrigger canoe paddler, also a daddy. Reza Naziri from Italy. He was a great traveling companion of Leonika for a while on the Euro Tour.
Somebody's, I think, trying to take advantage of the offer I made on your behalf to give money to people who showed you some love. Jeff says, by the way, I love your Total SUP Instagram page.
Thank you very much.
That's Jeff. So make sure you send us your postal address or your bank account details, and Matthew will forward you that money that he owes you.
50 baht.
50 baht coming your way later today.
That's about €1 or something.
Is it that even?
€1.20?
Is it that even? I don't know. Well, all right, we have one more race before we take a break for lunch. Just confirmation there of the result. Who missed out there? No, we did not start, so
all the participating athletes
everybody is
making it through to the quarterfinals. We've got hit number 9 coming up. From Sweden, Justin Walemark. From the Netherlands, Joep van Bakkel. Also top names to watch out for. Daoke Lee from China. Seiji Kashiwagi from Japan. Parnos Dimitris from Greece. Albert Folch from Catalonia, Spain. And Zexu Luo from China. That's 7 riders. Are they all here? No, I think we only have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. 6 of them. So 1 is missing.
Looks like lane 3 might be missing, is it?
Lane 3 is missing indeed. So that's Parnos Dimitris, which
no,
is
no,
not
lane 3. You've just crossed out lane 5, man. Come on.
Lord.
I think lane 3, I think, is Dark Lee from China is missing. I think that's the only athlete who's missing. Is lane 6 missing as well? 1, 2. No, everyone else is there. So all of these athletes will go through safely. But looking now, it looks like lane 4 from Japan, Kashiwagi, is going out the fastest early on in this heat. Lane 2 is Joep van
Bakkel, who was announced recently as a new Sonova international riders. I think he was on starboard until then. With Christian Taher being now the new team manager for Team Sonova in Europe. And look at Joep van Bakkel,
cruising
great
now.
comeback and taking the lead in this heat number 9, the last heat of the 40-plus men. So definitely one name to take into account for a potential podium. Joep van Bakkel from the Netherlands. And I would dare say that sprint is not really a specialty. It's more of a long distance paddler, but clearly he can get the job done on a 200-meter sprints as well. That's Joep van Bakkel on your screen right there. He also trains kids in the Netherlands, and he's got some great kids who've been delivering some amazing international worthy performances over the past 2 years.
So, good way to finish this morning's racing with a strong performance in the final heat of the men's 40-plus. And some pretty impressive performances there from some athletes there who I think are going to give a bit of cheek this afternoon. We had Van Bakkel in that heat. The race before was a real...
And it was Albert Folch in third place from Spain.
So the race before we had Tomas Lelovic from Slovakia, who was just managed to pip the defending champion Avramenko from Ukraine. That was impressive. We had Tommy Boudet in the race before from Canada who was impressive. Tachman from Germany. He
Definitely.
comfortably won his heat. And then we had, Nimrod Nur, I think, from...
Nimrod, yeah,
somebody on our text line says that Nimrod's actually from Israel.
Yeah.
But representing the ICF today, the Thai paddler, wow, he was
Very
impressive.
impressive.
He went out like a bullet from a gun.
Tiger.
He was like a tiger. He was like a Thai tiger,
Like a crocodile?
chasing a rooster.
You have to pick your Thai animal.
Crocodiles are only fast over a very short distance, whereas I think a tiger could sustain 200 metres of strong pace.
Then we had Olivier Daumelu in heat number 3. He was third last year in the sprints, but he won the technical race last year in Gdynia. Who else did we have in heat number 2? That's
Yoshida, was it from? No. Oh, that was the one we got all confused about.
Yoshida was the winner
from
Japan.
And then in the first heat, we had the Pole Filip Koziski, who also won. So some big names winning safely through to the quarterfinal stage. That wraps up our coverage this morning from the day one of the 2023 International Canoe Federation Stand-Up Paddling World Championships, coming to you from this incredible venue here. Look at that, folks. Look at the picture. Look at the sort of nonsense that Matthew and I have to put up with. Sitting in this incredible location. There's a slalom course in the background, the canoe sprint and rowing course right in front of us. That's where we've been watching the action today. We're going to take a break until it's about an hour, and then we'll be back in an hour's time to bring you the afternoon activity. We hope you can join us then, wherever you're watching around the world. Take a little break, go and get yourself a cup of tea. If it's an appropriate time of the day, maybe get yourself something a little stronger. If it's the middle of the night, just have a little kip and then come back fully charged in an hour's time for some more fantastic racing. But for now, from Thailand, from myself, Ross Solly, and my co-commentator, Matthew Estier, we'll see you in an hour.